And new developments emerging in the hostage negotiations as an Israeli delegation is visiting Cairo today in the hopes of reaching a deal. ILTV's Rachel Safdie is at the Hostages Square in Tel Aviv with the latest. Rachel, what can you tell us about where the negotiations stand?
Hi, Lidar. Well, in the past few weeks, and specifically in the past few days, we've been seeing more and more international pressure on both Israel and Hamas to reach this much-needed deal where we would see a break in the fighting in the Gaza Strip and hostages coming home. And so here's my full report with all the latest on the negotiations. The Israeli delegation has headed to Cairo as Hamas reviews the offer put forward by Israel over the weekend. Currently, Hamas representatives are deliberating over the proposal and will return with a written response to the offer. The deal is rumored to include a 40-day ceasefire and the release of Palestinian prisoners in exchange for 33 Israeli hostages. The response from Hamas is anticipated in the coming days. A senior official has stated that the Palestinian terror group has no major issues with the latest proposal from Israel and Egypt for a Gaza truce, but historically they have been reluctant to accept such deals. Amidst this, Secretary of State Blinken, on his 7th visit to the Middle East since the conflict began, weighed in on the offer. Blinken, in his statement,
"The quickest way to bring this to an end is to get to a ceasefire and the release of hostages. Hamas has before it a proposal that is extraordinarily generous on the part of Israel. And in this moment, the only thing standing between the people of Gaza and a ceasefire is Hamas."
Additionally, the Israeli government is coming under growing international pressure from its global allies and the families of the hostages to agree to a deal. Thousands protested in the streets of Tel Aviv, calling for the release of hostages. Hamas recently released 2 videos depicting 3 hostages alive as part of the group's psychological warfare strategy, highlighting the urgency for the release of the hostages who have been in captivity for over 200 days. Meanwhile, Israel's foreign minister stated that a planned incursion into the southern Gaza city of Rafah might be put on hold should a deal materialize to secure the release of Israeli hostages. Here's Israel Katz's perspective on the deal.
שחרור החטופים הוא בעדיפות ראשונה מבחינתנו. החטופות והחטופים, ואם תהיה אפשרות לעסקה, אנחנו נעשה עסקה.
גם אם זה אומר לחכות עם רפיח בשלב הזה?
כן.
However, should Hamas reject the deal, many anticipate that Israel will proceed with a Rafah offensive. These developments underscore the delicate balance of negotiations and the high stakes involved.